All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we are breaking down a totally no-nonsense, highly structured 90-day transformation guide straight from our source material. And honestly, the best part about this, it requires zero gym equipment. None. If you've been wanting to build a balanced, confident physique, but you just keep hitting a wall with traditional, overcomplicated fitness advice, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to strip away all the confusion today and focus purely on what actually works. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap. We'll start by busting the ultimate gym myth, look into the science of progressive overload, map out your actual 90-day blueprint, tackle diet and recovery, and finally, hit on the ultimate secret, discipline. All right, section 1, the ultimate gym myth. So before we can build up new habits, we kind of have to unlearn the old ones, right? We've all been completely conditioned to think that getting fit means paying heavy gym fees and figuring out complex machines. But just think about this for a second. How did ancient warriors and Greek gods build muscle without a gym? Long before anyone was selling pre-workout powder or building fancy cable machines, humans were building incredibly strong aesthetic bodies. The secret they used is literally just as powerful today, and you already have access to it. It's a pretty stark contrast when you look at it. On one side, you have the modern gym approach, expensive fees, annoying commutes, and a sea of confusing machines. On the other side, home workouts. Totally free, zero travel time, and focused entirely on mastering your own body weight. Look, here is the absolute truth the fitness industry really doesn't want you to know. Your muscles don't have eyes. They have no idea if you're in a high-tech gym or just standing in your bedroom. The only language your muscles actually speak is the language of a physical challenge. Moving right along to section 2, the science of progressive overload. Okay, so we know muscles only understand a challenge. But how do we actually create that challenge at home without picking up heavy iron plates? Well, let's unpack the science here. Progressive overload is basically the core scientific principle behind all muscle growth. It literally just means gradually increasing the stress you place on your body, step by step. So, the crucial point is this. Since we aren't adding heavy weight plates at home, we have to demand more from our muscles in other ways. We do that by increasing our reps, changing our form to make a move harder, or just cutting down the rest time between our sets. The source material uses this brilliant, super relatable analogy. Imagine you lift a bucket of water 10 times today. It feels heavy, right? You struggle a bit. But if you do that every single day, in 15 days, your body adapts. Suddenly it feels light. Are your muscles going to keep growing if you just keep lifting that exact same weight? No way. Your body has completely conquered that challenge. To trigger new growth, you have to add more water to the bucket. You have to give your body a reason to get stronger. That, in a nutshell, is progressive overload. All right, section 3, your 90-day workout blueprint. Let's get into the action. So we've got the theory down, and now we are applying it to a really effective push, pull, and legs routine designed specifically for your home. But hey, before we look at the exact exercises, I need to imprint this golden rule in your mind. Form is greater than reps. 5 correct push-ups are far, far better than 10 wrong ones. When you're working out at home, you absolutely cannot rush. You need to feel every single movement, squeeze the muscle. If you're just quickly pumping out reps with terrible form, you are literally wasting your time. Precision is everything here. So here is your weekly schedule. We are only doing intense workouts 3 days a week. Monday is push day, Wednesday is pull day, and Friday is legs and core. Notice all that blank space in between? Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday are purely for rest, with just a light active recovery walk on Saturday. Now you might be wondering, why so much rest? Because muscle growth doesn't actually happen when you are exercising. It happens when you are resting and recovering. Now, speaking of things happening outside the workout, our source material actually included a quick contextual announcement for its student audience that we should relay here. There's a live Diwali celebration event called Unacademy Utsav 2025 happening on October 16th at 7 p.m. on the NEET and JEE Nexus channel. Apparently, viewers can win from a pool of 12 crore in mega prizes, which includes an iPhone 17 Pro Max. The source also notes that if you register and share the link, you get an extra lottery ticket. All right, getting back to our blueprint. Let's break down Monday push day. This targets your chest, shoulders, and triceps. You'll start with standard push-ups, and when those get too easy, remember progressive overload, you elevate your feet to do incline push-ups. Next up, pike push-ups for the shoulders. Focus on a slow descent and then an explosive push upward. Finally, chair or bed dips for your triceps. You can straighten your legs or even throw a heavy bag on your lap to increase the difficulty over time. The goal, 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps for each exercise. Then we move to Wednesday,
pull day. This is for your back and biceps. Now, since we don't have pull-up bars, the source gives us a brilliantly creative hack. You do body weight rows using a sturdy table you can slide under, or you can wedge a strong bed sheet into a closed door and pull yourself up. After that, Superman holds on the floor to target that lower back. Make sure you hold the position for 2 full seconds at the top to really squeeze the muscles. You're aiming for 3 sets of 10 to 20 reps here. Finally, Friday brings us to legs and core. Start off with squats. And again, throw on a heavy backpack if you need that extra challenge. Next are lunges to target the glutes and quads. These are great for balance training too. Then we hit the core with planks. The key is keeping your body in a perfectly straight line for 30 to 45 seconds to build that deep core stability. And we finish the week with crunches. Move slowly, focus entirely on the abdominal squeeze, and please do not pull on your neck. Section 4. The diet and recovery game.
Listen, you could execute that workout plan absolutely flawlessly for 90 days, but if you ignore this next component, your results will be 0. The real game is played in the kitchen, but your diet needs to be incredibly simple. Forget the expensive supplements, and definitely forget those miserable restrictive diet plans. And this brilliantly illustrates the golden rule presented in our source, the 80-20 rule. 80% of your intake should be home-cooked, nutritious whole foods, and the other 20%, whatever you crave. It's all about balance and consistency, not perfection.
I absolutely love this analogy from the source material. Think of your body as a house under construction. When you work out, you are essentially breaking down the walls, creating micro tears in your muscle. To rebuild those walls even stronger, you need cement, which is your protein. You can grab that from eggs, paneer, lentils, or soya chunks. But who's going to lay the cement? The laborers, right? And they need energy, which comes from carbohydrates like rice, oats, and potatoes. Finally, every single machine needs lubricant to keep the joints and hormones running smoothly. That's where healthy fats from almonds, peanuts, and ghee come into play. And let's not forget the most overlooked element of recovery. It's represented by this simple number, 3 to 4. That is the number of liters of water you absolutely must drink every single day. Your muscles are literally 70% water. If you're dehydrated, your muscles simply cannot repair and grow. This is entirely non-negotiable. Which brings us to section 5, the final secret, discipline. You know, you can have the absolute perfect workout written on your wall and a fridge full of the perfect food, but without the psychological glue to hold it all together, none of it matters. Consider the difference between motivation and discipline. We all start out with motivation. It's a great little spark. But motivation completely fades the second you're tired after a long day of work or school. Discipline, on the other hand, is the unyielding habit that forces you to act when you absolutely do not want to. The hardest battles of these 90 days won't be the push-ups. The hardest battles will be fought on the days you just feel lazy. Discipline is simply the act of keeping a promise to yourself.
Which leaves us with this final, incredibly powerful question to wrap up our explainer today. 90 days from now, will you be complaining in the exact same spot, or will you be totally transformed? This isn't just a physical challenge. It is a profound test of your willpower. It's about deciding that today is day 1 of taking control. So, what's it going to be? Take this blueprint, stick to the structure, and I'll leave you to make that choice. Keep learning, keep pushing,